This weekend, the US Open begins in New York, the final Grand Slam of the year. For 2 weeks, the world will watch as players chase glory on one of the biggest stages in sport. But if you zoom out, tennis isn't just about aces, rallies, and trophies. These tournaments, the US Open, Roland Garros in Paris, Wimbledon in London, are cultural mirrors. They reflect back at us the pressures, inequalities, opportunities, and hopes of our wider society. Tennis, in many ways, is an allegory. A stage where the drama of modern life plays out in condensed form. Hello, folks. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Daily World Pod by ZebraTruth. I'm your host, Thomas Smith, and today we're unpacking the major story that has shaken up the tennis fans all over the world. We're joined today by our expert, Jane. Jane, welcome to the show. All right. As the US Open kicks off in NYC, it's more than just a festival of forehands and backhands, isn't it? These Grand Slams seem to reflect who we are as a society, pressure, dreams, and all. How do you see the US Open acting as a mirror for our current world?
Absolutely, Thomas. And thanks for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to discuss with you how sports are impacting our lives. The US Open is like society's big stage. Players chase personal glory, while millions watch and judge every move. It's meritocracy in action, but also a pressure cooker, like students competing for a top job or influencers hustling for likes. It's exhilarating and exhausting at the same time.
That's spot on. And with every serve broadcast worldwide, there's no hiding from the spotlight. It's similar to how young people today feel constantly on display, thanks to social media and nonstop performance culture. Do you think this relentless scrutiny is making or breaking us, both in tennis and real life?
It's a double-edged racket. On one hand, it drives excellence. Look at Alcaraz, who bounced back from a tough loss last year to become a title favorite. But on the other, it can lead to burnout or anxiety, especially for younger players like Lerner Tien, thrust into the limelight at 19. The same goes for students or young professionals. High expectations can either spark growth or cause meltdowns.
So, in a way, the US Open isn't just about who wins the trophy, but who survives the pressure and what that says about the rest of us. Let's dig deeper into another layer. The paradox of community and isolation on the court. When the crowd roars at Arthur Ashe Stadium, it feels like the whole world is united, but tennis is such a solitary sport. Unlike soccer or basketball, there's no one to pass the ball to when things get tough. Is this loneliness unique to tennis, or is it a metaphor for how we live today?
That's a great observation. Tennis is the ultimate solo act, no coach mid-match, just you and your thoughts. It captures the modern paradox. We crave connection, yet so often feel alone. Social media, for example, connects us globally, but can leave us feeling isolated, just like a player standing alone under the floodlights.
And yet, the community is real. Just think of fans in Paris or London, or how Venus Williams' return at 45 inspires people across generations. There's almost a ritualistic energy to it, as if tennis matches are our modern-day temple ceremonies. But does the thrill of community outweigh the loneliness of the grind?
Sometimes. A cheering crowd can lift a player in a fifth-set tiebreak, just as friends can help us through personal challenges. But too much focus on individual success, whether in tennis or our careers, can make us forget the power of collaboration. Maybe we all need more doubles matches in life.
Haha, I love that life as a doubles match. Switching gears, let's talk about the tug-of-war between tradition and innovation, which is so visible at the Grand Slams. Wimbledon's all-white dress code, strawberries and cream, pure tradition. The US Open, neon lights, night matches, big soundtracks. Jane, are these tournaments clinging to their pasts, or are they reinventing themselves for a new generation?
They're honestly doing a bit of both, and sometimes it's awkward. Wimbledon is like your grandpa refusing to text, while the US Open is your TikTok-obsessed cousin. Young fans want authenticity, but also crave spectacle. It's a tough balancing act. Change too little and you're out of touch. Too much, and you lose your soul.
Exactly. And we see that tension everywhere. Companies, universities, even governments struggle between honoring tradition and embracing disruption. Do you think tennis risks alienating either its old school fans or the next gen with these moves?
For sure. A 2023 Nielsen study found that 58% of young tennis fans want more interactive experiences, but 60% of older fans fear the sport is losing its identity. The best tournaments find ways to innovate, like introducing night matches while still respecting their heritage. The trick is not letting the past become a prison.
So maybe the lesson is, evolve, but don't erase what makes you unique. Coming up, let's tackle a thorny issue: money, access, and the pyramid of privilege in tennis. Jane, tennis loves to tout its equal prize money for men and women. Wimbledon only reached parity in 2007 after Billie Jean King and Venus Williams led the charge. But let's get real. Is tennis actually fair? Or is it just another game stacked for the privileged?
It's a classic case of progress and problems, Thomas. Sure, the top players rake in millions, and Venus Williams at 45 is an icon, but most pros struggle financially. A 2024 ITF report showed 80% of ranked players lose money after travel and coaching costs. It's meritocracy with a luxury price tag.
And that echoes broader society, where a few thrive, but most feel locked out of the club. The US Open is a glitzy inspiration, but also a critique of how opportunity isn't equally distributed. Do you think wildcards for legends like Venus help or hurt this dynamic?
It's complicated. Venus's wildcard is both a celebration of legacy and, to some, a missed chance for a rising star like Victoria Mboko. Ideally, tennis should honor its legends and create real pathways for new talent. Otherwise, it risks becoming an exclusive echo chamber.
So the real challenge is making success accessible without losing what makes tennis. Well, tennis. As we wrap up, what lessons can we carry beyond the baseline? If we zoom out for a second, Jane, what can we as regular folks learn from the drama of the US Open? Is it all about winning? Or are there deeper takeaways for how we handle pressure, community, and ambition in our own lives?
I think the real magic is in resilience. Players like Alcaraz or Goff remind us that setbacks don't define us. Community matters too. The energy of fans and the support networks off-court are crucial. And maybe the biggest lesson: success is hollow if you're alone at the top. Balance and collaboration matter.
That's powerful. And as we've seen, tennis, like society, isn't black and white. There are contradictions, inspiration and exclusion, tradition and change, pressure and joy. By holding space for all these truths, maybe we can make our own lives a little more nuanced and a lot more meaningful.
Exactly. The US Open is more than a tournament. It's a microcosm of humanity, with all its flaws and beauty. Whether you're serving for match point or just trying to get through Monday, it's about playing the long game together.
Couldn't have said it better. For everyone listening, what's your takeaway? Is success about the final score or the journey to get there? Let us know your thoughts and keep the conversation going on and off the court. On that positive note, that is a wrap for today then. Well, thanks to everyone for listening to the Daily World Pod by Zebra Truth. If you learned something today or got a little fired up, share the episode, subscribe, and stay tuned. We'll be back with more from the bleeding edge of AI in sports. Meanwhile, you can also visit our website, www.zebratruth.com, and download our app to stay informed and stay connected.